New details in Sean Diddy Combs' ongoing legal battle have been uncovered. The music mogul, who is currently in jail awaiting trial on federal charges of racketeering and prostitution, to which he's pled not guilty, is facing several allegations from over 100 people. And now one of his accusers was ordered to share her identity in the filing if she wanted to move forward with her lawsuit, in which she accuses Diddy and others of plying her with drugs and in a New York City recording studio in 2003 when she was 17, per TMZ. Combs has since denied her allegations, according to the documents obtained by the outlet, according to a court filing viewed by Page 6. Now, the 38-year-old says she is refusing to back down from the case and coming forward publicly. As she shares in a statement to TMZ through her attorney, "I had hoped to use a pseudonym in pursuing justice for what happened to me as a teenager. Defendants' demand to use my name was an attempt to intimidate me, but I am not intimidated." She adds, "I am prepared to proceed and hold accountable those who have harmed me." Combs, who has been denied bail 3 times since being taken into custody on September 16th, was accused by 120 people of told reporters at an October 1st press conference that the suits, which were filed in numerous states, accused the 53-year-old of acts such as, quote, or rape, with a controlled substance, decimation of video recordings, and sexual of minors. Following the allegations, the rapper's legal team denied all the claims against him, with his attorney Erica Wolf telling E! News in a statement, as Mr. Combs' legal team has emphasized, he cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a reckless media circus. That said, Mr. Combs emphatically and categorically denies as false and defamatory any claim that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. The lawyer added, he looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court, where the truth will be established based on evidence, not speculation.
Anna Kane's decision to file a lawsuit against Diddy under the alias Jane Doe initially drew widespread attention because of the gravity of her claims. The allegations, which span more than 20 years, accused Diddy and his associates of assault and exploitation when Anna was only 17.
Hello, how you guys doing? Welcome to the Messy Sweet Spot. I am your host, Gigi, and I have some new updates about Diddy. This comes straight from TMZ. So you see the picture, and you see Diddy, and you see this girl on Diddy's lap, and honey, it has been some funny business. Last week, it was a girl, believed from the big back community, came out saying that she was this girl, okay? And people done their research and they found out she was lying. Could you believe it? People are actually lying, saying that they're victims, saying that that's there and that's them in the picture, and it's not. So the girl, she is speaking, and I would love to play this article for you guys. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot. I just want to say thank you so much for the love and the likes and the shares. It goes a long way. Her name is Anna, all right? All right, so let's hear the TMZ report. Let's hear it.
Diddy's facing a mountain of lawsuits from anonymous accusers, but one accuser's name has now been revealed in court docs. According to new legal docs obtained by TMZ, one of the Jane Does suing Diddy for sexual assault was ordered to reveal her identity if she wanted to continue her lawsuit. And now we've learned the woman suing is Anna Kane, who used to be married to NHL star Evander Kane. Anna amended her lawsuit to include her government name. As we already told you, she claims she was just 17 years old and still in high school when Diddy and others gang raped her. In a statement through her attorney, Doug Wigdor, Anna tells TMZ, "I had hoped to use a pseudonym in pursuing justice for what happened to me as a teenager. Defendants' demand that I use my name was an attempt to intimidate me." Anna claims she was a 17-year-old still in the 11th grade when this meeting happened. She says she accepted the invitation and ended up in the Big Apple, where she met Diddy in a recording studio. She claims Diddy and others plied her with drugs and alcohol before sexually assaulting her. Her lawsuit includes photos of the alleged.
The case gained significant attention following Cassie's high-profile lawsuit against Diddy, in which she also accused the music mogul of abusive behavior.
And she says she's the girl with the blurred face. Anna claims during the meeting, Diddy took her into a bathroom where he her from behind as she was bent over a sink. And she says she didn't consent. For his part, Diddy has denied the allegations. Anna and Evander, who now plays for the Edmonton Oilers, married in 2018 and had one child together before she filed for divorce.
And you have the strength to come out here to tell your truth, because we know it is hard. I mean, this world is so wicked. They want to blame the victim. You have people pretending to be her. I mean, could you imagine how Anna felt? Just seeing all these reports, and this big girl, she is fighting. And honey, this is a tough fight, but it looks like God is on her side, because all of the signs are pointing very well. You know, it's sad. People want to still blame her, talking about, well, you're 17. What were you doing over there? Well, my goodness. I'm sure you guys, when you were 17, you probably did so much marijuana, so many things, fornicating, so much at a 17, 16-year-old, you know? So who are you to question what she was doing at a 17? How about let's change the question. What was Diddy doing with a 17-year-old on his lap and do so many wicked things? Okay, but the people that want to victim shame her is usually down with the hip hop and the Diddies and all that wickedness. You know, you can really tell who they are based on the things they say and the questions. You know, it is sad and it's wicked what happened to this girl, and her life has changed forever. That situation that Diddy did to her all those years, she had to live with that. She had to have nightmares. Are you kidding me? But they don't have any smoke for this grown man that has been doing this time and time again. All right, it is sickening, but hopefully
Anna's case has taken a distinct turn with her decision to reveal her identity, shifting from Jane Doe to Anna Kane. This move has heightened public interest but also exposed her to considerable risks. Legal experts have been discussing the potential consequences of such a decision, especially in high-profile cases involving sensitive accusations.
I'm going to bring in Myla Morales. She's a former makeup artist for Diddy and also Cassie Ventura. Devastating. You can go down the list of things, but it's so difficult to speak about.
I know.
Being a witness of anything. Tell me how you must be feeling just knowing that this has even come to light.
Well, I have kept this Puff, came in and I had no idea Cassie left and shut the door, and all I could hear is screaming and yelling and whatever was going on in there, I don't know. But all I could think of was came out of the room. She was badly, beaten.
Oh my God. What did her physical appearance look like?
But a lot of knots all over her head.
Did she go to the police at that point or anything?
No, we didn't know what to do at that point because, Puffy is a very powerful person and we were quite terrified. So I just, brought her to my house, and my friend, who is a doctor, I called her, and thank God she was in town because we didn't know what to do. And she treated her for, just to make sure she didn't have a concussion or anything like that. But it was really it was painful to see Cassie like that because she's such a beautiful human being, and for a man to just hurt any sort of woman, I just didn't know what to do. I felt like I don't even know how to describe how I felt that night.
Did she describe how she was feeling about having that happen?
The judge's decision to disclose Anna's identity highlights the ongoing tension between safeguarding victims and maintaining transparency in legal proceedings. While this ruling may deter other potential accusers from coming forward, Anna has firmly stated that she will not be silenced.
I feel like she might have been embarrassed that happened in front of me.
But the incident that you're talking about even predates what we saw in this horrific video from a hotel floor. When that video came out, what did it feel like knowing that that had now been public?
No, I was devastated when I saw that video because it was like I witnessed what could have happened in that room and more, you know? So that was a hallway incident. Who knows what happened, you know, in that room when I was outside of there. And I was devastated. Actually, I've been devastated since the court cases came out and how, you know, he mistreated Cassie.
He has settled the suit involving her specifically, but there are others, and there are sources that are telling CNN that the majority of the people currently suing Diddy are actually speaking to federal investigators, which indicates the Justice Department might be moving close to an indictment. So do you think that Cassie?
I'm really not sure. Like I said, I can't speak for Cass, but I hope she does. I hope she does, because she's the only one that would know all the information that's gone on over the years. So,
Mila, why do you think? I mean, we've heard certainly, you know, a lot of people in the industry condemn Diddy for what they saw on that video, but it hasn't been a universal outcry within the industry specifically. Why do you think that is?
About it. And the only reason why I am is because I'm a friend of Cass's and I really care about her very much so. And I'm outraged, and a man treating a woman that way. And not just a woman, but a friend of mine that I've known since she was a teenager.
I can only imagine, of all the women that you have worked with and people who are eager to be in the industry, what they are exposed to, how they could be exploited and abused in a variety of ways. And that's why the idea that not hearing so many more people speak up is very frustrating and hurtful for so many people.
It is frustrating and hurtful, even for me, because I mean, everyone's just hush hush and quiet. I don't know, maybe they're scared. I mean, we've all been scared, so, you know.
I hope this is a turning point, Mila Morales.
I think so.
I really hope it is. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
I hope so.
In a statement issued through her attorney, Anna reaffirmed her determination to hold those accountable for their actions, emphasizing her unwavering resolve.
That have become shockingly familiar against Diddy in recent months, as he has faced lawsuit after lawsuit from women and men who have accused him of all manner of bad behavior.
Attorney Lisa Bloom is representing Richard.
Dawn had the choice to file the case as a Jane Doe, and she chose not to do that. After giving it a fair amount of thought, she wants accountability, she wants justice.
An attorney for Combs tells Nightline, quote, in an attempt to rewrite history, Dawn Richard has now manufactured a series of false claims, all in the hopes of trying to get a payday, adding, quote, it's unfortunate that Miss Richard has cast their 20-year friendship aside to try and get money from him. But Mr. Combs is confidently standing on truth and looks forward to proving that in court. Richard is just the latest person to come forward with disturbing allegations against the once celebrated hip-hop mogul.
For months by federal prosecutors here in New York, and if there are criminal charges, many of them may look a lot like what some of these individuals have been describing.
With this newest lawsuit, this would probably only expedite or increase the amount of allegations and potential witnesses who could testify against Sean Combs.
At the time, Combs denied all wrongdoing and said that settling was not an admission of guilt. Then, this explosive video.
By CNN. Diddy's flying through the hallway of this hotel.
Anna's allegations describe troubling events that supposedly occurred in 2003 when she met Harve Pierre, the president of Bad Boy Entertainment. According to her lawsuit, Pierre invited her to Diddy's recording studio, where the incidents of that night transpired.
Appears to be so broken. Like, there's a point where she just stays on the ground.
It's so difficult to reflect on.
Combs, now 54, acknowledges assault of Cassie in a message posted on Instagram.
I was up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Combs has denied any wrongdoing. Dawn Richard first met Combs while filming the MTV reality show Making the Band.
But I just feel like Diddy's gonna pull something because that's just how he is.
Combs working on making Danity Kane the next big girl group.
Dawn, I need you to take the lead on that song. I need you to take the lead and produce those vocals, get those vocals.
Richard also alleges that during the filming of Making the Band, she saw Kim Porter, Combs' ex-partner and mother of 3 of his children, leaving his recording studio in tears with visible facial injuries, including a lacerated lip.
It's at that point, according to the lawsuit, that Richard says that she knew that Sean Combs was capable of assault and some of the most heinous acts towards the women.
So many people are trying to break into the music industry. No matter how they're treated on those shows, it's very hard for them to leave because this is their lucky break. This is their dream.
Richard went on to work with Combs in another group called Diddy Dirty Money. Richard says Combs groped her multiple times.
She claims that while in the dressing room, he would be there groping her buttocks under the auspice of, this is where I want her underwear to be showing. This is where I want her pants to be cut. This is where I want her top to be fitted.
It was around this time, the lawsuit says. In one incident, she alleges that in front of dinner guests, Combs forcefully punched Cassie in the stomach, causing her to double over in visible pain, crying.
The court documents detail shocking and distressing allegations, including accusations of intoxication and assault by both Diddy and Pierre.
Describes this one instance where Cassie's apparently making breakfast in the kitchen, and Diddy comes downstairs. She describes him as drug-addled, apparently high, and just starts yelling at Cassie. Diddy picks up the frying pan full of eggs and whatever and hurls it at her, causing Cassie to duck into a fetal position. And she said this is what made her, Dawn Richard, to be so afraid of him and what he was capable of.
In the music industry, sexual abuse is tolerated. A lot of very high-level people are complicit. Women suffer. Women are overly sexual. They're discarded like trash after they complain. And a reckoning is long overdue. It takes a lot of people coming forward until somebody is believed against a very powerful person in the music industry.
Just this week, he put his $61 million LA mansion up for sale. The home had been raided by the feds earlier in the spring.
And his name is now sullied by allegations that he denies, that he insists he will fight, but he is also facing a criminal investigation. The biggest threat that he faces is the prospect of criminal charges. Diddy, who once seemed untouchable in the world of entertainment, could in theory put him into prison.
My message to Sean Combs is stop fighting the women, come clean.
Photographs from that night have been presented as evidence showing Anna at the studio. While these images offer context, the outcome of the case will likely depend on whether Anna and her legal team can support their claims with additional evidence or testimony.
Because my next guest just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter. And if you follow this story, you'll know that on those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were males. Courtney Burgess told his story on a podcast before he told the grand jury today, and after he told the grand jury, and I mean immediately after, he booked it over to my set, and he and his attorney talked to me. I should tell you that he was very limited in how much detail he could go into about his testimony. And because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of sex crimes, we know who they are, but we will not be naming them, famous or not. Here now is my conversation with Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell, who's his attorney, beginning with the question of whether the participants in the video even knew they were being recorded. Were there any cameras in places where you'd assume privacy, like bathrooms?
Well, I've never been in this house, but the picture, yes.
Surreptitious cameras that were recording in private places like bathrooms?
I didn't see the cameras. You could tell how the person was angled. I knew that it was a camera there because I was there. You know, I wasn't there. I don't know if the person was too tall, he was holding it or whatever, but I wasn't there.
May I ask you this, Courtney? And Ariel, you can jump in on this as well, but I want to hear from Courtney first. Your home was raided by federal authorities, and I assume it is because of this material. Is that true?
I wouldn't say that. They just went to every one of them looking for me. They said the 27th. I said, I can't make it there. That's tomorrow. So I don't know. From the look of it, it was 4 days.
And I want to be specific. When we talk about a raid, we're talking about when a subpoena is served for documents, a search warrant or an arrest warrant. In this situation, Mr. Burgess was not in any way, shape, or form had a search warrant or an arrest warrant issued for him. It was just them serving a subpoena.
Despite alleged threats and intimidation, Anna has stayed resolute. Her public statement confronting these attempts to silence her highlights her dedication to seeking justice. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal team shows no intention of backing down, actively working to examine Anna's background and credibility.
Federal government needs to serve a subpoena. They use the Marshal Service to come to all of your residences if you have more than one residence. So in this situation, they sent marshals to all of Mr. Burgess's residences, and that was somehow construed or understood or turned into a raid, but he did not face a raid. It was just to serve him the subpoena.
Ariel, do you believe that the subpoenas were issued and executed based on the federal authorities' knowledge that these flash drives existed and had this kind of compromising material? And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
Under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appear to
Let
be.
me rephrase it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing? Were victims were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized,
Yeah,
meaning this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those, this approach has brought Anna's troubled past into focus, including her contentious divorce from NHL player Evander Kane. While these details are unrelated to her case against Diddy, they have been leveraged by his defense team to challenge Anna's credibility.
Potentially minors.
2 to 3, possibly 3.
2 to 3. Also on the flash drives, Courtney, was what looked to be a manuscript written by, it appears to be a woman who had taken Kim Porter's private journals and had written a book. Is that accurate?
We don't know.
I don't know
how,
I don't know how, who wrote it, put it together, but it was from her when I spoke to, it's only 60, it's only about 54 pages. It was.
Sure, and in the beginning, it says, Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote up the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
It's how you read it, yes.
And to be clear, he received it in its complete form. So I think just to make sure we have some clarity here, the manuscript that Mr. Burgess received was already in its complete form. It's not that he edited it or changed anything.
Got it.
He did give it to someone
Makes
else
sense.
who then edited it, but that's not how he received it.
Okay, so Ariel, did your client, Courtney, receive the book from the woman who seems to have written it, saying, I'm a woman of my word, and this book is going to make it to print?
I don't know if he received it from a man or a woman. He can answer that.
I received it from a man. I tell you, somebody she was dating. It was, yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I got it, received it.
You spoke to Kim Porter?
Yes.
So Kim Porter.
Just saying hi.
Okay.
Anna Kane's divorce from Evander Kane was anything but ordinary, with the couple's tumultuous relationship making headlines for various allegations from both parties. These included claims of fake pregnancies and accusations of gambling misconduct, which have painted a picture of a deeply troubled relationship, further complicating Anna's public image.
Okay, Ariel, go ahead and give me clarity on the timeline.
No, I'm trying to get him to provide clarity of, was there a conversation with her?
No, I was
or
talking to the person, and he said, hold up, this is Courtney, be right here. Let me say something to him. He said, I know him, put me on speaker. Then that's how we end up speaking.
And then later, somebody else came and brought you the...
To the best of your knowledge, Courtney, do you believe that the manuscript is truly based on Kim Porter's diaries? Because there is a lot of dialogue in there. It is pages and pages of actual dialogue, which, I mean, I can't remember breakfast today, let alone dialogue from 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago.
I guess this is a woman's scar. You understand? Maybe, you know, what she been through. It's, you know, I'm not a woman, so I'm just going by how I got female friends and relatives. They always come to the house scoring because what went on in their relationship.
Important to stop down here for a moment and note again that Sean Combs is accused. He has not been convicted of any crimes, and so far everything against him is an allegation until it is proven in a court of law and a jury either decides or he decides to sign a plea deal to any of these crimes. But at this point in the story, Sean Combs is not guilty of any crimes. He is currently under indictment. He is currently being held on bail. But if you're at all curious about how Courtney Burgess feels about Diddy today, your lawyer just said the story the tapes tell are the story of Diddy from the last several decades. And I know that you've known Diddy for a very long time. Can you describe what that story is based on what you now know to be true, the last several decades of Diddy's behavior and the reason he's now sitting in lockup?
I think I've been doing it for 35 years. I think we probably entered the music business at the same time. He entered with Uptown. I entered into Big Beat, Atlantic. At the time, I guess he was ambitious. He was then from ambitious went to doing anything, and then from doing anything to didn't care about nobody, who he could beat, and then he ended up turning into Lucifer. Today, I look at him. I know y'all call him Diddy or Puff.
Evander Kane accused Anna of faking a pregnancy, even going so far as to wear a prosthetic belly to make him believe she was expecting their second child. He claimed to have uncovered the deception after examining medical bills, which revealed that Anna had actually undergone an abortion months before.
But for the people that have been denying it, you know what? Let's not be coy. You know, I am Jaguar. So let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a bean. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez, Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him.
Now, Carisha and Rick Ross just sat down together in an interview.
Yeah, I know. Two Diddy doo-wop bops. What a reunion. Only thing they got
Now, will Diddy start snitching?
He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. I know you know what happened to Corey. Diddy, I know that. You and Jay-Z down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot.
I would say if those who don't know who Kathy is,
Kathy Coriana White, Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died 24 hours after she announced that she was going public with their relationship and the baby.
While Anna acknowledged misleading Evander about the pregnancy, she denied using any prosthetics to fabricate the story.
While he was married to Beyonce.
now
Was
Jack,
it an aneurysm, Diddy? Or are you the one who paid the same coroner that you... Oh, Diddy, you should talk.
do you feel the federal government will probably speak to Jay-Z in regards?
They already have.
Oh,
They talked to him before he made that Super Bowl announcement. Isn't that interesting? He was questioned by the feds before he made the Super Bowl announcement. Oh, this about to get fun for me.
yeah. Let me ask.
There's nothing like, have you ever seen what happens to a rat when it's trapped? Oh, eat its way through anything. So I want y'all to imagine this. I got Jay-Z on his back with his stomach exposed. Diddy is the rat that I'm using. And I'm gonna take a metal trash can and put it right on Jay-Z's stomach with Diddy right in there. And I'm gonna heat that bitch up and see what he eat through. Fuck you, Sean. Both of y'all. I got you, bitch. I told you.
Next to him, you see 6 U.S. AUSAs, his assistant attorneys. I believe one pregnant, one a little older, but all white women. What are your thoughts on that when you see 6 women assisting the U.S. attorney?
A small choruses of Nancy Graces?
Basically.
I think it's fabulous. Can't wait to see it.
Would you like a woman to be the judge over this thing?
Oh, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful.
I don't think that'll happen.
But do you know who I would rather see a woman preside over? When she's finally held accountable for the part she played in the harm that was put on Natanya Rubin's life.
Do you think they'll bring up charges on Jennifer Lopez?
They better. She committed perjury. And the attorney that was representing the defense side of that suborned perjury. We can start there. Let's bring Jenny to the cell block. She's been to every other block.
Sometimes they'll open up a case to bring light on other cases. Do you feel the Shine, the club night with him and Jennifer Lopez will come back to light?
Oh, absolutely, it has to. If it was good enough to be content on Law and Order for what? The 12th season, episode 9? The one episode, 3 Dog Night, that they have done a public statement saying they will never air on television again. Matter of fact, they went and they edited out in the box set. They replaced it with an episode that's now gray. And the part of Jennifer Lopez was played by Kerry Washington. Idris Elba played the role of Diddy. You gotta look hard. It took me and Odell forever to get it, and we have to track down one of the original box sets.
Wow.
Yeah. And guess what happened in the end of that episode when they finally tracked down the starlet who they were hiding from everyone so she never had to testify? The male rapper took the charge, so the case was closed, and that's when she finally admitted that it was her that did the pow-powing. How similar does that sound to what really happened with J-Lo, Shine, and Diddy? And I also know that Janet came up in a time where she was trying to find her own independence and trying to find her own voice. And she wasn't going to let her daddy do to her what he did to her brother Michael. Janet is strong, she's smart, she's fierce, and she's loyal. She's a Taurus. You know, her birthday is May 19th. She's a Taurus. But the fact that her bisexuality is still being hidden, reason behind her relationship with Jermaine Dupri is still so elusive. You know, why she left Jermaine Dupri to marry
a billionaire?
That billionaire and to have a baby and then get divorced and then be seen with Jermaine Dupri again. Kind of like Ashton Kutcher leaving Mila Kunis and then going off with Demi Moore and then coming back to Mila Kunis. You know, there's a lot of entrapment relationships. There's a lot of setup relationships. There's a lot of stuff.
And let me ask this, because we live in a world of truth now, and
But
I know.
meanwhile, when she married that billionaire, all of that was going on when Diddy.
Damn,
and they won't talk about it.
I can see him.
So when I hear Orlando bringing up the Janet Jackson thing and saying it in his little code word, I know what that means. I know what he's saying. But the truth is Janet is under heavy scrutiny. She did what she had to do to survive.
And rest in peace, Tito Jackson. But Janet just did an interview saying that in good times, because she was a little more developed as a child, they were questioning of even keeping her on the Good Time show as far as her, she was, what does that say to, again, we see the Weinstein stories, we see these stories, but what does that say to a Hollywood producer who says, oh, she's developing fast? Well, how can we mitigate it? How can we stop it? And this is back in, Good Times is, rest in peace, John Amos. We can.
I hope he can. I hope.
This is John Amos. This is good.
I hope he can. Like, listen to me. That whole situation with his death is weird.
What is this? Very weird.
It's weird. And I'm sick and tired of people chalking elderly people dying unexpectedly up to, oh, well, he was old. He lived a long life. Old people are supposed to die. Yeah, when it's their time. We ain't talking about when people are making it people's time, like with Clarence Avon.
Yeah.
Viable human beings, thriving human beings, regardless of what age they are. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, no, the fact that his daughter said, I found out when y'all found out on social media.
Because the other son was over there doing some other stuff, and then the one son was...
It brings up questions. That's all it does. It brings up, to say he passed in August, and via October is when it's TMZ or when it's reported.
And he died in August. He been dead all this time. Sounds a lot like my old manager, Richard Nichols, who they said was already dead but didn't die for a few weeks. Sounds like the numbers didn't add up and they just needed to hold it.
There was another unexpected passing that I just found out about the other day, that Angelo passed.
Yeah.
He was on the couch.
Yeah.
Great guy, very informative.
Yeah.
Do you know, is there any details about that, or how did that make you feel?
There will be none, but the family's not talking about it, and I'm not going to talk about it. They didn't feel the need to release his cause of death, and I'm going to respect that. But what I will say is when he passed away, there was $250,000 on my head and $150,000 on his.